All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Time is Honey. And go ahead and open it up. I'm going to leave an open panel tonight. Talk Hive Life if anybody wants to join. Who spent the most money? Who bought the coolest stuff? Yeah, I talked to
Yeah,
Bobby earlier. Got dropped there, son of one, huh?
yeah, I don't know what I did. Don't know what I did, but it did it.
Yeah, shit happens. Yeah, I talked to Bobby earlier, and he's got this really cool queen cage that he bought, this queen transporter. And
Yeah, it says like your old grandfather's toolbox, a little steel
right,
toolbox.
right. Hey, Wildwood Honeys, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good evening. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you on board. Did you go to Hive Life, Wildwood? I know Bob did. Bob should be in here shortly. Yeah,
I
that
suffered.
queen
I
cage.
suffered home life.
Oh, you suffered the home life. You didn't go to the Hive Life?
No,
Y'all,
but I
West
actually did.
Virginia.
Yeah, the last day of Hive Life, I did basically like a recap of home life.
Yeah.
And I was in my hives and doing some stuff in my hives and walking around the yard
Okay.
and
Nice,
did
man.
me a little live.
Yeah, and I was talking to my mentor yesterday, and we like when my mentor calls me, we always have really good long chats. It's never a short chat when I'm on the phone with my mentor, man, and that's what's really cool about it. He had some bees that he lost, and we were talking genetics. And one thing we were talking about down here in Texas is how long it's taken his bees to come back from their mating flight. And he's like, usually, he's like 10, 15 years ago, it was 2, 3 weeks. He says now it's 5 to 6, sometimes longer.
Crap.
What up, Clueless Beekeeping? Good to have you, Tex. What up? Good to see you, brother. What up, what up, what up? Yeah, so
Well,
go ahead.
there's probably a couple things you can take from that, though. Whether one thing is that maybe she can't find um, the drone she needs, or
Yep.
she's out getting mated properly. Either way, you don't really know.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. I think we can all sit here and kind of speculate on what it is. Maybe there's not enough drones, too many. She's out taking her time getting mated, but he did say he's like, you know what? Some of my colonies did come back after 6 or 7 weeks, and she came back with a lot of bees. So sometimes it does happen. He said that does happen. But he was kind of pointing out one thing is right now Texas is in huge drought, man. I went into beekeeping this year thinking, all right, cool, I'm in Texas. It's going to be easy to do beekeeping here. Chavez 8688 in the house. What up, my brother? It's easy to do beekeeping here in Texas, but it's kind of quite the opposite. We have a lot of drought. My stepdad, he keeps bees up in Oregon, and I watch a lot of the guys that are up north. You guys have really good pollen flows. Down here in Texas, it's real short, quick, and that's it. Then we're dry.
Huh. We have several sporadic ones. I mean, the best one I think is tallow, which is
Mhm.
you know
I think we have
is the
tallow
best
here
one.
too. Yeah.
The
Yeah, Clueless, you're in Texas too, right? I think Clueless is in Texas. I can't remember, but I
yeah,
know last.
I lived about 20 years in Texas,
Okay, okay,
between Freeport, Longview, and Austin.
okay. I'm in San Antonio area. Yeah, Austin.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So Clueless. Yeah, maybe they're not finding enough drones like he was saying, or maybe she's out taking her time getting mated properly. She's being the Roxanne of the colony. Yeah. I'm gonna start naming all my queens Roxanne. Austin. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
lost
Michael? Good to
I,
see you.
I lost about 1,000 bees yesterday.
Oh man, what happened?
Um, they got in the feeder, and I stayed too long in the feeder, and it emptied out, and they got inside of it. So they stayed out in the cool of the evening inside that feeder, liquid feeder. And I saw them all balled up this morning. I pulled the thing open and looked, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I dumped them out. Say, "Well, the sun's starting to come up. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
warm up and they'll be fine, right?"
Yeah.
And I come home at 5:30 and went out back and looked, and it's like crap.
Still
They're
all there, huh?
still all laying there.
Yeah, that's part of the deal, man. That's something my
I
mentor always
didn't.
tells me too. It's never a sure for sure thing in beekeeping, man.
Well, I didn't lose the whole hive.
Yeah.
I mean, just 1,000 of them that decided to stay on that feeder till the last drop was taken.
Yeah. Yeah. See, down here in Texas, it was like 60 something degrees today. I mean, it's real nice. Probably warmer than now. It's probably like in the 70s today. So the weather down here has been real fair. You got 27 degrees. Where you at, Jeff? Hey, James. Good to see you. Welcome, James. Good to see you, man. Welcome to the chat tonight. You guys can join if you want to. The link is posted. Is pinned up. I'm curious to see what people bought from Hive Life because I didn't go. I want people to come on and share. Let's see all the cool stuff people bought. Any
Yeah, I
cool
was
new...
one in all of Bob's when the lives were going. I was doing hashtag Bob U-Haul.
He'd get his 80-foot, get his 80-foot U-Haul so he could haul back all his gear.
Well, he didn't. He got too much, but he didn't get that much.
Yeah, we were cracking jokes on before we left. Like, hey, you're gonna get you're gonna get an 80-foot U-Haul and haul all your gear back. All right, cool. West Virginia. All right. Many winners.
Excuse me.
I want some sweater weather.
Yeah. I looked at your I listened to something Bob's earlier, and he said something about your live tonight. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't get a notification, so I went and looked at your where I subbed at, and
Yeah.
I was subbed, but I wasn't checked in the notification.
And that makes a big difference too. Like you want to make sure the bells like click. You get like the bells
Yeah.
filled in. That's there's Bob Walker, B Ranch in the house. Hang on. I got a new sound for entrance. Stand by. And I'll play it for Bobby here. Hang on.
The trumpet's blaring.
I like that.
Hey, Bob.
Hey. Brother.
So show us your queen toy that you got, dude. That queen castle, man. That thing's rad.
This thing?
Yeah, man.
I was just talking to Spanky on the phone about this thing.
Check that out.
Oh, the tackle box.
What's up, Lee? Good to see you, brother. Good evening.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It goes into your outlet, right? And it's got a little push button for turning it on.
Cowbell or something. Yeah, that sounds way better.
And this is holds 45 queen cells.
Very nice.
All right.
So if I go pick up queen cells, I can keep them at a consistent temperature in the box. Hopefully for the whole time that I need to.
Now, is that battery operated, Bob?
No, dude, it just operates off your car outlet. So like I got to drive it. If I go down to the queen breeder down there and pick up 45 cells, I can plug it in and keep the temperature at the appropriate temperature to keep the queens warm.
Very nice.
While I'm driving back. Dirt Rooster says he uses a chicken incubator and stuff. So that was the one thing. So
my question is, what kind of cells does it hold? Would it be JZBZ cells or?
Yeah, just the cup, the queen cup that has the cell in it.
Oh, okay.
So you just stick it down in that styrofoam, and that insulates it, and then it keeps it warm in there. Keeps the temperature.
Who makes it? Who makes it, Bob?
That's made. It says Apis Engineering on it, but some people have gone to the website and not seen it on there. So you might have to actually call them to see if they have some more left. Okay. So it's
how big did that hit your pocket, if you don't mind?
160, I think, 150, something like that.
Okay, so it's fairly reasonably priced then.
Yeah, pretty much everything you buy in beekeeping, if it's big, starts at like $200, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the zone.
Take your time, Lee.
Yeah,
I know he's got a whole studio he's got to hook up there.
Yeah, you know what? I feel bad about that because he brought all that stuff, and we had a blast, and we were, he was working with Ricky, and I was doing my thing with the lure, so we were trying to stick lives in there to do the lives, and hey, it was great because we had 2 chairs that we could just pop a squat on when we needed to, right?
Yeah.
And but he had his car so slammed up he could not partake in all of the extra sales benefits there, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate
It's almost like
that.
It's almost like you'd want somebody just there to run live streams, right? Have somebody like set up at a table and just specifically like handle live streams.
But with the way Lee is in the OCD, we were already brainstorming on different ways to do things next year. Like we had Phil going around with his camera, right, with his phone.
I saw that. I saw somebody walking around our stream. Every time I got on, there's somebody walking around with the camera. I was like, that's rad, dude.
So so next time, Lee said he's bringing a camera that will like hook to his Wi-Fi and Bluetooth back to his computer. Nice. So, just some things. We got to meet a lot of interesting people,
Yeah.
So yeah, had a great time, man. Had a blast. It was kind of like politicking, right? Shaking hands, kissing babies, all over the place. And
any kind of new equipment coming out that you guys saw there that you want to share with everybody? Like what was...
Yeah, my bullet. That was a new.
Okay. All right.
That was one of them.
Swarmler. Swarmler, everybody.
That's it. So I did pretty well on the swarm lure. Could have went better. Like Hilco bought a bunch of boxes and then didn't bring them, so that didn't help. That was kind of
but good to see you, brother.
Once you buy them, they're yours, so you can do what you want to with them, right? So that's kind of how that worked out. But
Lee, wouldn't that be fun? Set up just an entire live streaming booth for the whole 3 days.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. The stream team setup looked pretty sharp. You would think that they were on ESPN or something. I mean, they had the whole deal set up.
Wouldn't that be fun? Set up just an entire
I'm getting a loop back.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm sorry.
You're fired. You're fired.
I'm fired. Oh. Well, what about severance now? Come on.
Yeah. But so it was interesting. Had a great time. I've talked to James McNally so many times that I feel bad about calling him now. It's like, hey man, I know I've talked to you earlier, but I found this deal for you. So buying stuff from Canada right now, by the time you get the exchange rate, you're saving a ton of money. But then the shipping part. But for him, he's been able to come down here and buy things cheaper and then have it shipped to Canada, and he's been able to save money on it. Yeah. So like Pro Nukes that we buy for $19.95 a piece here, he bought a pallet of them and they were $9.50 a piece. By the time he calculated the shipping in it, still $5,000. Don't get me wrong, but that's the difference. That's the savings, right? So it makes sense if you can to buy in bulk.
So that worked out. He bought, and how many nukes did he get out of that $5,000?
400.
Nice, man. Okay. All right.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Well, so I guess that's less than 4,000, really, right?
Right around, yeah.
So, I mean.
Okay, so they have Wi-Fi at the convention center. They don't have a hardwire set up, huh? See, that would be the key to it, Lee. Is get a hardwire set up.
The Wi-Fi was not great, and then you got to think everybody in the hotel is on the bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure
you need a hardwire.
They're not paying for like heavy duty bandwidth,
Nah, no.
You gotta try to get a 4G rig. That way you have your own Wi-Fi.
Well, that's what we ended up doing. Yeah. So the first stream we did was from the hotel Wi-Fi, and it was all grainy and pixelated, chopping up. And then Lee had a hotspot on his phone, which was 4G. And that's how we ran the rest of them, and it went pretty well,
Okay.
Except for you could tell our walk-around camera would cut out and stuff because he was on the hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Covered down, man. Made it work.
Yeah, man.
What did Lee buy? Lee, what'd you buy?
He bought one thing.
Really?
He bought that instant vape from La Robbie's.
Oh, nice. From La Robbie's?
Yep.
Nice, man. Good
And
deal.
then he got his battery in today already, so
Nice.
he's ready to go, ready to
Nice.
shoot it up.
Deal.
And
And how much
you
are
know,
the booths going for? Are they going to go for higher next year, Lee?
well, when I talked to Cayman after the show, he was talking about we've already outgrown this convention center.
What? Wow.
I mean, it was pretty insane. I mean, you could tell when somebody started to speak on the schedule that the sales floor kind of evacuated. So we kind of tried to do our live streams when that happened.
Yeah.
Because less background noise and distraction going on, you know.
Yeah. And was there a lot of speakers this year?
Oh yeah. I mean, they had, if you just the YouTubers that spoke, I know Dirt Rooster, Richard Knoll, Ian Stepler. I mean, there was a whole bunch of them. I sat in on 0 of them. I'm not gonna even front. I sat in on 0 of them because I was doing the whole live and all that stuff. But you know, I accomplished what I needed to accomplish there. And
how's the weather up there this year too? Was it cold up there?
I mean,
it wasn't snowing like last year, was it?
No, it wasn't snowing. Fred Dunn. I mean, these guys in the chat probably know better than I do on the speakers because they actually partook in it. You know, Ian Stepler. Just tons, man. They went all out. And
Brian had on shorts, huh?
Yeah, I'll do one of them Hive Live. Yeah, ought to have a Hive Live on the road tour, you know.
Oh yeah, like the Traveling Road Show.
Yeah.
And Bob Benny, yeah. See, I'm forgetting people left and right.
Yeah.
Bob,
he dropped in on your guys' stream too, didn't you?
Yeah, he was on one of our live streams and came and
man.
chatted with us for a few minutes. You know, tried to respect his time.
Yeah.
Even with Cayman, you know, I didn't even take a selfie with Cayman or anything. I spoke with him a little bit, but every time I try to be courteous. I knew how blasted he got over the weekend. So even when
that guy's busy.
Even when I saw him on that morning, I didn't like dominate his time like I know I can do. And it was like, hey, I just wanted to say, hey, I appreciate you and looking forward to next year. And maybe I get a booth. Like I said, maybe I get a booth. And he said, well, we're going to have to do something because we've already outgrown this facility. And
that quick in what, 4 years? 3 years?
This was the 3rd year. So I think they said it went from 300 people to 800 people to 2,000 people.
Vendors or people? Attendees?
Attendees. Everybody's included, right?
Wow, man.
And
yeah, that's the thing. It's like we see somebody busy like that, you're not good.
Well, even Bob Benny.
Hey, what's up, Tim?
Everybody was so busy. You know, I did buy some stuff from Bob Benny. I bought double screen boards, right?
Nice.
And I bought some of his migratory covers. And then while I was there, I went ahead and bought some feeder buckets because it was there, right? It was just all right there. So I just loaded it all up and then had Seth pull it out for me. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty insane, overwhelming, really. I mean, by the time you get home, I wish it could have went longer because of the people, but by the time I got home, I was ready to get home. You know,
hey, Tex, that would work for me too.
AT&T Stadium.
Yep, right here in San Antonio. That'd work just fine for me. Yep, it's not too far. It's just in town here.
So I did, and I just had a live stream. I made a short live stream before yours, because I didn't want to infringe. So I told a lot of people to come over, but I had, I worked out first of all, I've got some of those Saracel shaker cups with the blue lid coming. I only have a dozen, and like a few people have already reached out to me. I want one. So,
I'm having some glasses made too. I just had them made. Badass. They're just getting shipped. I gotta get yeah.
And then I've got the a deal working with Peerco. So I'm trying to, you remember the whole co-op that we started talking about, 9 months ago or whatever it is, 10 months ago. It's finally starting to come to fruition. So
nice, man. A little bit of time, man. Time is any.
Yep, and that's the thing. We're just trying to move things forward and let people, right now they can email me if they want to get in on the discount.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is because I have the website, I can become a wholesaler through them, right, or a retailer. So I get a discount wholesale price, and then pass on some of that savings to the guys, and just do one bulk order. So they'll send out a pallet or something like that, and work it out that way.
Yeah.
Okay. But other than that, I mean, I did go out to a colony today and pull a whole super off. And, I thought it was a good idea before I left to throw that extra feed on there. Probably the worst idea I've ever done in my life.
Really?
Yeah, that colony, they looked good in a 10 frame box, but when you start putting on a super and they start spreading out, and now they're combating beetles in that box and stuff like that. So I actually had a little tiny spot about that big that, about a dime, I guess, size, that had some wax moth larva, or not wax moth, hive beetle larva in it.
Yeah.
I ripped the whole super off, threw all the frames in the freezer, and put a migratory cover on them, shook them all back down to 10 frame box, and threw a feeder on it and let it go. Let's see what's going to happen,
Yeah.
It's just always something. And this weekend, pretty much every extra box on my colonies is coming off. I'm taking them all off.
Are you running small supers, Bob?
No, deep. Oh, yeah. Medium supers and deep brood boxes. So
okay. All right. Peppermint. Yep.
Yeah, the peppermint works well to an extent, but it'll run them out. But what I find is when you have all your colonies close like I do, they'll leave this colony, but then they go to that colony. And then, so they're kind of working to see where the weakest spot is. So you got to really put them out there. And what I find this time of year, there's not a lot of them. But, the number of bees is less too. So this time of year, I start smashing them all, as many as I can. Just smash the crap out of them.
How far off the ground are your boxes?
About as high as a 4x4 on top of a sideways cinder block. So whatever a sideways cinder block is, what, like
about almost 8 to 10 inches. So that's
they're not right on the ground, but just smash as many as you can.
Yeah.
I found it interesting when when we had our cold snap here. I had my girls threw out some hive beetles on the porch. They were dead, but they were laying on the front porch.
Yeah, nice. They're cleaning them out, right?
That's awesome.
So yeah, man, it's crazy. Actually, the swarm lure. I'm not trying to talk about the swarm lure from the aspect of buy it.
But how did you do with it? Like, did you get rid of all the product you went with?
No.
You didn't. Okay.
No.
All right.
But see, the thought was when I went, I didn't have a booth, right? My thought was take products, so if the people that had bought it from me had sold out, that I could just replenish their stock as we went, so they wouldn't run out, right?
Yeah.
And Hilco bought a ton of it to carry to the show, and then didn't carry it to the show for whatever reason. But like I said, he bought it, so it's his. He can do what he wants to with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the case. But a lot of people did show interest in carrying it in their store. Networked. Saracel was interested in carrying it in New Zealand.
Nice.
Of course, it won't be this year because they're already in their summer. It would have to be their next year
following year.
So
dude, that'd be rad to get your product overseas like that, bro.
But if you look at it, the funny the thing is, I always thought about it from our season, right? When our spring starts. But if you look at our spring, like even now, we're not to spring here, so we got a month or so, and then the states start hitting spring, right? But then Canada doesn't hit spring until after us. So it's like it could really be an all year thing where I was thinking it was going to be more seasonal. So if New Zealand gets on board, then when we're in winter, I would be shipping to them over there. So it could be good, man. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic, but not get not get delusions of grandeur. Just because someone says, "Oh, I'm interested," doesn't mean they'll carry it. And even if they say they'll carry it, I've had people not order, even when they say they will. So,
it's one at a time, man. One day at a time.
Yep, that's it. I mean, that's all
what I
you
like.
can do.
Yeah, how's everybody's bees doing, by the way? I always like to. I'm curious how everybody's bees are doing. Said he's got still alive. They're all still alive here.
The majority of them are. I mean, they're coming in and out. So either they're getting robbed out, or they're doing good.
Higher price in the store, no discount for conference. Yeah, daisies. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like I said, with my bees, I've got I lost 1,000 of them last night.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole hive, just 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what we struggle with down here is, and I had a long conversation with James, and he may join us. He was just checking into his hotel, so I don't know if he will, but we had a long discussion about the differences in the seasons between northern beekeepers, especially him in Canada, and us down here, right? So he said he leaves his feed buckets on his colonies until they either freeze or they stop taking it. And that's in Canada, right? So, then he puts them up in the building.
I have a liquid feeder outside right now, and they're hitting on it. That's all they want. They're not even going to the sugar board inside the box. They're wanting more liquid.
No, that's something, to be honest with you, I did put sugar bricks in my nukes, but I've had 3 nukes die out with sugar bricks in the colony. So it's like
the bricks might not be soft enough.
I don't know. Last year I made them the same way, and they just licked at them, and it wasn't a problem. But who knows?
So you hit them with liquid feed last week, Tex. Okay, maybe I'll start hitting mine with liquid right now. Because it is, man. We're having 60, 70-degree days and like 40, 50-degree nights.
And if they don't want it, they won't take it. That's kind of the philosophy I've been living by.
Hold on. We got Sawmill Charlie coming in. Stand by. Hang on. Watch.
It's very loud.
Sawmill Charlie in the house.
That sound effect is really loud. You're probably popping people's heads.
Oh man, I love it.
Charlie, you got dinner on your chin right there.
Nah, that's where I cut myself.
Silver gorilla.
Shaving?
Yeah.
The
I was in a hurry trying to get the Hive life.
The moisture will keep them soft, man. You can go in there and like spray water on them and stuff to soften them up. But you want to use warm water because it will if it gets too hard, they won't be able to eat it. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna start feeding this week, man. I'm gonna start feeding this week then with you guys. Yeah,
and we're just I don't know, kind of doing the deal, man. I'm just disappointed that what I thought was a good idea turned out to be a bad idea. You know what I mean? So, hey, worst case scenario, I got a bunch more honey, bunch more honey to pull off.
How much honey you got to pull off, Bob?
Well, if I go through, I might have another 20 boxes.
Hey, Grayson.
Possibly another 20 boxes that I could pull off and harvest.
Oh man, we're gonna have 80-degree day next Tuesday.
So
80 tomorrow.
Wow. Just trying to keep them, keep the bees sane, Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna start feeding down here. We're averaging like 75-degree days right now.
Really?
Yep. 80 tomorrow, 79 Wednesday, 65 Thursday, 68 Friday, 67 Saturday, and 76 on Sunday.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I've been
80,
sort of
70.
wondering. I've been sort of wondering. Bees were doing something the other day that sort of was, they landed. They were landing on my hands and licking my hands.
Because you're a
I was
beekeeper.
well that, but I was wondering if they're looking for minerals right now.
I would say
Salt.
you're salt sweating.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard you've also find bees around like natural spring water too. It's a good place to find bees if you ever want to look for them. Find a natural spring somewhere because of all the minerals. They will feed hard candy.
Well, I had a good time at Hive Life. I met a lot of folks here on the stream.
What'd you buy?
Um,
Did you buy anything cool, Charlie? You got to show what you bought.
nothing really cool. Just Hilco had a good price on Formic Pro. I bought a 30-pack
Nice.
of Formic
Okay.
Pro.
All right.
About $30 cheaper than what you find in the magazines. And
You still read magazines?
yeah, catalogs.
Don't they have those on the internet now?
Yeah, well,
We grew up in
through
J.C. Penney's days.
I don't know.
Like the Sears Roebuck.
I can thumb through a thing a lot better, easier.
Well, hey, if you keep a beekeeping magazine or catalog next to the commode, man, that's good reading.
Your legs are falling asleep.
Sitting on the throne, your legs falling asleep.
You know what, Lee? I might put one of those out in my yard.
But I got that. I went to Better Bee. They had one of those isolation cages for a queen. You could isolate your queen, but I was going to use it as a timing box. And let's see, I had pre-ordered from Rossman Apiaries some 5-frame queen excluders for selling nukes and stuff like that. And I got those, and they had brought, luckily I called up Candy down there, and she was able to bring them up before they left. And what else? I got 10 pounds of the pollen patties with the apis in it.
Nice.
Hey, Cajun. And I'm going to try that. And I don't know. What do you think that would work well with raising queen cells, Bob?
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
I got the 15% real pollen in there. And then I'm wondering whether apis is going to make them make more ruled jelly. Stimulate them to do that.
It should. I mean, you would think if it's got the nutrients in it and it's got the pollen.
Well, it's got real pollen. It's better than maybe making pollen slurry.
So, real quick, the apis actually has real pollen in it.
No, right? The global patty that has the apis mixed into it already that they were selling at the show has real pollen in it.
Okay, cool. And that's what you got, Charlie?
Yeah, I went and got they had 4% real pollen.
Okay.
And they had 15%. So I got the 15% real pollen.
So,
and I'm not real big. I mean, a couple years ago, I got some Ultra Bee pollen patties.
Hey, Spanky.
And because it was warm and the weather conditions and stuff, they ate 40 pounds up, real quick, because it was in, I'll say early February, and it was 50 some degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple years later, the weather was, I'll say, normal, where it was cooler. And then our maple trees start blooming in late February, early March. And, they just kind of like turned their nose up to it, which that's what bees do. And I threw, I won't say a whole patty out, but there'd be a small piece of it that would be, to me, you're throwing money away, because they'll just sit there and look at it. They're not going to do anything with that. And so I figured, well, I was going to go away feeding pollen patties altogether. And then they came up with this thing, and I'm like, I seen Brian at Castle Hives, and his bees just ate the dickens out of them. So, and I think there was some pollen around, but I think the biggest thing is it's real pollen in there. It isn't fake.
That's
And
what
I
they
think,
want, is that real pollen, isn't it?
right. And I figure that's
Key.
why they eat the stuff. So I figured, well, it was a good price. It was $2 and I think 30 cents a patty. Yeah, it was $23, 10 pounds. Yeah, $2.30 a patty. And that is pretty good. Usually it's $3 or better. And
That's what my mentor keeps telling me, is that live pollen is absolutely critical to queen rearing.
oh yeah,
It really is. It's
I
absolutely.
mean, they got to have the protein
Yep.
to raise baby
that live
bees.
pollen. Yeah, that live pollen. He said you got to have it. Like the higher pollen, he said, the better. Really, if you
Well,
can
you
get.
figure the honeybee is the only true bee where all they eat is either nectar. They eat nectar and pollen. That's their two food sources.
That bee bread, right? That's like.
Yeah, well, that's a mix of all that. But like a hornet or wasp, they're meat eaters. You'll
Yeah.
find them eating meat.
Yeah.
They eat, other than pollen and nectar, they will eat meat, dead carcass animals, whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen the best deal on the internet.
What's that?
Well, that full extraction line that license
They're
sells
bad guys.
All right,
for like 36 grand at Better Bee. If you go to Dancing Bee, right? Their US site, because of the conversion rate, it's $10,000 US cheaper. It's
really?
$26,500 for the 40 frame extractor, the automatic uncapper, the uncapping line with the wax extruder and the clarifier, and the pump, the honey pump.
And you were gonna buy, when you buying this?
I'm not buying it, but that is, $10,000 off. That's a good deal. Yeah, significant deal.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to talk James into buying one because he's got all those colonies and all that honey. It would make sense for him in the long run. It would pay itself.
Well,
back,
he
right?
definitely, he's looking to buy something like that because, when you're extracting, as he said,
3,800 pounds.
Only 3,800 pounds of honey. And obviously he does more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do even more. That's what that kind of guy needs. He's definitely a serious sideliner.
I got a long time before I can even think of that one.
Yeah, I don't have the space or the need for that, at this point. And I have to, with my current situation, I have to keep my stuff separate,
Well, for me, I had close to 40 hives. That's nukes and honey hives. And then I'm down around, if everything is going well, it's 32. It doesn't sound like much difference, but it is. And then I add maybe another 20 mating boxes in there, which is not too bad to fool with. So I'm right around 50 in the summertime, but I don't want any more than that. That's enough for me.
Well,
and if I can get 1,000 pounds of honey every year, that will get me from season to season, from July to July.
Yeah.
And I don't have to buy anything from anywhere else. I make more money that way. And it's my honey and all that. So,
So what I'm going to do with mine is go ahead and pull off all my mediums, reduce them back to the 10 frame, slap the feed to them right now. And then I'm going to wait probably until, I don't know, maybe first week of March and pull out the deep frames that I've got. Or if I start seeing the maples bloom where they're starting to bring in pollen and nectar, I'll go ahead and pull the deep frames of honey out of the brood box and slap some frames in there, wax frames, and let them get, or drawn comb and let them get to work, and I'm just going to try to pack them in. Because that was the absolute worst thing I think I could have done, is go back around and throw that extra, the extra medium on. Well, it wasn't an extra medium. It was a medium. They had plenty of stores in the box, but that one colony.
So basically, you didn't keep. Yeah. Basically, you put that extra meat on, then they weren't tight.
Yeah, they weren't tight. And then I saw just a dime size of hive beetle larva on one of the frames, and I pulled the whole box off and threw the whole box of frames in the freezer. It was just on one frame, but if they can't keep that one frame protected, they can't keep the rest of those protected either. So I shook all the bees back down into a 10 frame and put the cover on them and threw some 1-to-1 to them.
Is that why you guys were telling me to take that top box off and keep them real tight?
Yep.
Also,
keep them tight.
Yeah.
And they're able to keep that temperature more controlled in that one box,
Yeah. John told me, he's like, take that top box off. He's like, and what you do, take that sugar shim. He's like, just swap the sugar shim down.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you could leave the top box on if you want. He's like, they'll start cleaning it up slowly when it warms up.
As they get bigger,
Yeah, they'll go up there and they'll start cleaning house. But he's like, yeah, that's totally fine.
But when you put that shim on, most of them are going to stay below,
Yeah, that's what he said. He's all, dude, they're going to stay below the shim anyways. So, yeah, that was like a learning process. I learned from all you guys.
As far as your bees like that, there's one thing you should always think about is that the bees are sun creatures.
Mm-hmm.
They respond to the how many hours of daylight there is in each day.
Thanks for the subscription, David.
And like right now, yes, Bob's having, and even you're having a lot of nice warm weather.
Yeah.
But does the queen respond to, there is definitely some response to warm weather, but what about the amount of hours of daylight? Does that slow her laying down?
I think it does, because what it will get
it
warm.
does up here because we're
cold.
It
does here. Yeah,
it's still cold at night, right? So it takes it a little while longer in the day before they get out there, right?
See, what I'm getting at is where you threw that extra box on, you think that they're going to expand.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the hours of daylight isn't long enough for her to kick in.
Nope.
And to expand the hive.
Well, what I thought she would do, I was putting it on basically like a feed, emergency feed, right? They just had the extra feed, but
see, that's Charlie. Just what you told me is exactly what my mentor told me. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, they don't. A lot of people don't.
The daylight.
They
hours a day.
They don't really talk about that in these classes and stuff. And
no, that's why winter solstice and summer solstice is such a big deal for beekeepers.
I'm not going to lie to you. I learned more through these conversations with people than I would in a class, because I'm like that guy that's going to be looking around. Hey, what's that? That guy just coughed. Let me see. Squirrel. You know what I'm saying?
And the days are getting longer.
Yeah.
And the days are already getting longer right now. We hit days started getting longer, like the 23rd of December. So
I've noticed that it's a little bit more lighter in the evenings.
Yep.
Closer to 5 o'clock, it's still fairly light.
Yeah. See, down here it's 6:37 ish, and it's getting dark. Okay. So it's starting to stay lighter down here. You guys get darker up there early.
But I like you were saying, the winter solstice and the summer, those dates,
very important.
They do make a. You can definitely. I was like watching my honey hives, where honey season was over. I was equalizing through that season so they wouldn't swarm with the brood. And then it came to a point where I'll say the 1st of July, you could see where she was slowing down, maybe lack of food and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to be in these brood chambers every week like I was.
They're slowing down.
Because you're slowing down and you don't have to worry about swarming.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
right now I'm gonna take the gamble again, man. I'm gonna pull all the excess food off and make them go down in that deep and just. I mean, they've got to just make it. We just have to make it a month, 4 more weeks. That's it, and then
Yeah.
it'll start really warming up here. And when I say warming up, where the nighttime temperature is pretty consistently 40 to 50 degrees, you know.
in that 50-degree range. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
has. It's you want the 20-degree difference from daytime to nighttime. Yeah. Let's see, we're getting sunset at 5:55 tomorrow, and then
Right.
by the 23rd of this month, it's going to be 6:06. And it's a small time, but think of that for the bees. Like, how big of a time frame is that for them?
Mhm.
You know?
How much more warmer? How much warmer the weather will be then too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the goal, is just getting them, nurse them along, keep them going. They got feed, so it shouldn't be a problem. There's a couple colonies that I really haven't drove down into the brood box, so they could just have heavy supers on top and really nothing in the brood box. In that
Yeah.
case, I'll just leave them alone. Maybe take one box off. For some reason, they just kind of moved up and there's nothing left behind in the bottom. So maybe the queen will move back down. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go out and drop those boxes down tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day. 80 degrees tomorrow. Yeah. I'll go out and just drop it. Might as well.
And
Yeah.
Charlie, do you need any equipment, like frames or anything?
No,
Boxes?
I'm good with that. I've got plenty of frames. One thing I did, I got back home and I was checking email, and so I got a nice. The report it's half done, so they sent it out from APIS, the National Honeybee Survey. That's where they came out. I think it was in the end of October, and they took eight of my hives, sampled them. They took live bees, they took bees in an alcohol wash, they took brood frames where they shook the larvae out of them and took samples of that. And they so far the report that they have given me so far is the visual field inspection and the lab diagnostics, and pretty much as far as visual, like American Foul Road and all that kind of stuff, it's all negative. But what was quite interesting, or at least I felt, is it looks like my mite treatment program is doing well. They did a alcohol wash that had 1,097 bees in there, and they found 2 varroa mites.
Nice.
That's a 0.2%.
It's like a super low mite count.
Yeah, super low. Yeah. So doing a 3-part varroa reduction with, I used Formic Pro, Aprovar, and oxalic acid in the winter months.
All right. You're really going in on them, huh?
Huh?
So you're really going in on them, huh?
Well, what I've come to my own personal conclusion is that, number one, I don't treat when my honey super's on. Now, for me, honey time is April, May, and June. And then July, usually it's kind of lagging. I don't really do too much in July. August rolls in. Now, this year, it happened to have about a 2-week period of low humidity and low heat. Now I'm talking heat below 80 degrees, let's say 78, 79 degrees, and no humidity. And I put the Formic Pro on 2 pads and single pads on my nuke boxes. And I actually questioned the company that makes it, Nod. And I think in the real near future, they're going to come out with directions addressing nukes. And that's what I did in July, and then in August, and then I went ahead and did 6 weeks of Aprivore and put it, by the directions, 6, if it's got bees, it's get Aprivore strips, and did all that. And then I started oxalic acid. I think it was pretty warm. And then I haven't done it in January, but it would have been a good day today, but I just, I'm working. So hopefully we'll get another 48 here on a weekend, and I'll hit them again with oxalic.
Just before you go into spring, huh?
Yeah, that's what I did last year. I actually hit them in October twice, November and December. Okay. January was too cold, and I hit them, I think it was the last week in February. And I'm coming to the conclusion that you more or less have to treat your hives and kill the mites year round or every month. You have to do something on a monthly basis, except, like I say, when it comes to honey supers, I don't like to put anything on it. And I do know, like Bob and them, they have more of maybe a fall flow where I don't have that kind of stuff. I know they have different flows like tallow and like Lee, he's got tallow and a couple other gallberry and some other plant that he talks about. And you have to kind of work.
They have goldenrod down there too.
We have goldenrod, but we don't get a flow out of that. They'll get pollen out of it, but you might get a little flow, but you're not going to get a crop out of it.
Yeah, we get a lot of goldenrod down here. That's what they go for, is the pollen, though, mostly.
All right. So how's Spanky doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah, Spanky, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah? How's your girls doing?
I don't have none.
Oh, you don't? Not yet?
Nah.
No. Patience, man. It's all a waiting game.
They passed away.
Yeah.
Bummer. Man. It's part of the game, dude. It's all right, man. You'll get some better ones next year.
What you got there, Ed?
Oh, we were talking about frames earlier. What I've been doing with mine, I scorch them. I build them and scorch them.
Yep.
And let's see what the bees will do with them. If it does anything different.
My question is how does it? Do the wax moths still hit it the same, or is it different? Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't had any issues with wax moths here at all.
All my gear is scorched, man. It's an ancient way, dude. It's an ancient method. It's actually a Japanese method, man.
Yeah.
It's supposed to harden the wood.
Yep.
It sanitizes it, and I'm just wondering. I heard something about propolis buildup on them.
Yep.
See if that's a difference in that.
Less time to build propolis.
What was you referring to, Bob, with the wax moths?
No, I was just, wax moths will burrow through wood. I'm just wondering if that will deter them.
Yeah, I had a box. All it had was free frame. All it had was free divider boards in it. Didn't even have no wax or anything. And them wax moths got in there.
And tore the wood up, right?
Really?
And I had burnt all those divider boards in the inside of that box. And I was like, what in the world? There's no wax in here for you to eat or anything.
Well, actually, is it, you're talking about, let's see, is it wax moth?
Yes,
what else is burrows in there? The hive, doesn't the wax moth chew out the little divots?
Yeah,
they leave the little divots. Yeah, little.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what they're eating is they're eating the cellulose out of the wood.
Well, see, James said that last night, that the wax moths will eat all the way through a polyhive.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
They've been reported in landfill.
And when he told me that, I was like, well, there went my idea to buy polyhives, because
they're one of the only things reported to be able to digest plastic.
Really?
What, are you serious? A wax moth?
Yeah,
hey,
they found them in landfills eating plastic, and they were very surprised and happy about it.
Yeah, if they eat the plastic, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's not killing them.
If it composts into something compostable afterwards, their defecation, that would be good. But who knows? We don't know.
Man.
Yo no say.
Autumn olive is good flow here, Charlie.
Huh?
Autumn olive.
Yeah, autumn olive flow. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
can't-
one
Can you
of
guys
them.
see Dry Cut's comments? Because I can't see them.
I can't see them in StreamYard. They are coming up on YouTube.
You guys using the StreamYard chat?
Yeah, I use two. Somebody left a comment about why I look up. You guys, I have a 42-inch screen right here in front of me, okay? I have two monitors so I can monitor like YouTube
Well, you
and
don't need
StreamYard.
two monitors. You just pull the YouTube chat on the pop out and put it over the StreamYard chat.
I could do that too.
What do you mean by a pop out?
Like I could
Megan?
pull up YouTube basically. Then
Show
have to-
show him.
I'd
Show
have
him.
to
Rich.
hold up. All right, hang on. Let me turn this down. Wait a second.
Because that's my problem when I did my live is that I had to go to YouTube to pin it. And what
Yeah.
I'm figuring on doing for Friday night is to put my laptop there and to do it over there on a second screen.
Yeah, I keep YouTube on one screen and my StreamYard on one screen. So if I'm looking forward, I'm looking at you guys on the StreamYard, and if I'm looking over to the side, I'm actually looking at the comments on the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
They actually hit
Well-
YouTube before they ever show up on the StreamYard.
Oh, do you have how big is your screens, Bob?
I've got two 24-inch screens right here. So,
Okay.
I've only got the one screen, so I just overlay it.
and then I can have. I actually
This
have
is
another.
this is
monitor
also a
up there, but-
workstation for school, guys. So this is like it's more than just like a streaming station. It's a lot of things. I do a lot of work here, so I have.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey,
have a-
Ricky.
Yo, Ricky, what up, my brother? Because I like to pin the comments too. I like to leave the StreamYard chat, and I like to pin the comments when people come in here. But even right now, in the YouTube chat, I can't see Dry Cut's comments, dude, and that's what's like kind of frustrating. What's up,
That's
BC? Good
weird.
to
I
see you.
can see him.
See,
Yeah,
I
I can
can't-
see him.
I can't see him in YouTube, and I even made him a mod, and I still can't see his comments. And
I
it's-
wonder if you hit the three dots next to it, does it give you the option to like mute this guy in the chat type of deal?
Who?
Like if
No.
you can't see him though, so that's
No, I can't even see him, dude. Yeah,
How can you do that?
I
well,
can't see
and
him.
I see he's a mod in your channel too.
See, and that's the thing. I can't see him.
That's weird.
And we've had this problem before. He's all, dude, am I blocked on your channel? But no, you're not, dude. You're a mod, dude. That's the frustrating thing. And we've tried to talk in the chat before, and it's like, I can't see. Yeah, see, Lee's got 332 inches. Yeah, I'm about to set up two more right here.
And there's James. Hey,
Yep.
James.
There's James Knoll
James
from Michigan.
I mean, I have a 32 right here that's my newest rig.
This
But-
42-inch I have in front of me is an LED I bought probably 12 years ago, and it's a beast. It's holding out. Why am I going to get rid of it?
Right.
It's a 1080p
I'll be right
LED,
back,
man.
guys.
All right.
It's a Vizio. I can run HDMI and my computer to it. I'm not getting rid of this. TV.
Your wall will run out. The brackets holding on the wall will wear
Yeah,
out for the TV.
It probably will. Yeah, this Vizio, no kidding. dude.
Heavy.
Yeah, it's a good TV, and I'll put lower screens, but I need to. But yeah, it's my main screen.
So Charlie, the reason I was asking you if you needed any frames or anything is that I'm working a deal with Peerco to become a dealer for them, and so I'm working on putting together an order from viewers, like a pre-order to give them a discount
Slang out
on it
some.
and get some stuff out. And I also ordered some of those Ceracell cups from Canada, and they're going to be coming down.
How much are those? How much is that? Them blue lid jobs, the newest ones out that don't leak?
Yeah, so I'm imagining I only have 12 of them coming in, but I think it's like, just guessing, it's probably going to, I think they retail for like 19. I think I could probably save a couple bucks, $17 maybe on them.
And you got shipping on top of that.
Yeah, but they're pretty light. They're only like that big. So, but it's something, it's some savings. It just depends, by the time you pay the shipping from Canada, it kind of.
What about a duty?
so.
Don't they charge duty going across the line?
Well, see, that's the other thing he asked me, because there's like an additional $10 that UPS said would be charged and he said I might have to pay it when it comes. Sometimes they charge it, sometimes they don't. So I don't know. I might have to pay another $10 when it shows up.
For the whole thing, or for just?
Yeah, for the whole shipment. But if I would have ordered more things, then it, that cost per shipping and everything per unit goes down.
So when are you starting your store for the beekeeping supply house in your
We
area?
already got a store.
Yeah, well, I've got the store. Now I'm trying to. This is hopefully these pre-orders. Hey guys, I'm not going to say there's no benefit to me. The benefit to me is I'm building a relationship with a company and being able to order stuff in, right? And any residual stuff that I can order on top of the order we're putting in with the shipment, then I can offer for sale through the website or here to local beekeepers. So trying to slowly get that snowball rolling, right? That's what it's trying to do right now.
Yeah. Okay, now I can see Dry Cut on another channel. I think this channel's cursed.
Now you have a little pop-up window in one of the corners that just shows the chat just for him.
Yeah, dude, I don't see it.
So you can see him.
It's frustrating. I'm like,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Oh man.
But
Don't
Don't
touch
tuck
the
them on.
monitors after you.
I saw his comment. He left a funny comment. He's like, I don't mean to brag, but I'm rocking a 5.5-inch monitor right now.
Screen.
Yeah,
on
Dry
his phone.
Cut. Yeah, Dry Cut's on his phone. Rock on, man. Thanks for stopping in, Dry Cut. Appreciate it.
He's the ever comedian.
Yeah.
I like
see,
I haven't
that's
talked to him on the phone lately. I need to give him a call.
real cool gaming. Yeah, see, I kind of want to. Yeah, I do a little bit more than gaming too. I do some other stuff. I do like a lot of research, man. So I wouldn't mind having ultimately, I wouldn't mind having like a full monitor setup right here, like a command center, but that'll take time. Watch those. What is it? It's like Stream Wars, where the streamers deck out their setups. Dude, you're talking streamers. I've seen streamers drop like $100,000 into setups, dude. Absolutely crazy, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna pick on Spanky for a second because Spanky sent some stuff up to Hive Life, even though he couldn't make it. He sent some stuff up for the silent auction to benefit the kids.
Nice.
And I know one of his 3D printed hives went for over $130.
Yes, dude. Right on.
So that's awesome. Oh, there we
Hey,
go.
we got three
God damn it.
girls in your
Look at that.
seat. They're
Look at
free.
That-
They're not enslaved.
That's how you know you're making it famous, man, when the porn people start
Yep.
getting in your chat.
Yep.
Well, they didn't say porn. They're anti-slavery.
They're anti-slavery.
Three girls in your city.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's Bobby at? Let's see. Let me make Bobby a mod. I think he already is, anyways. Yeah.
Me?
I hate that, man.
Am I a mod?
I think you are.
I'll see.
Let's see. I think
Nope,
you and Lee
I'm
are-
not. I'm not a mod. DC is.
Let me go there.
Yeah.
All right, there. Add you on DC as mods right now. I hate that, man. You figure that YouTube being what it is, it would I don't know. Yeah, ridiculous.
So
Ridiculous.
with that co-op thing that I'm working on, it's so anything on Peerco site, Peerco, that you might need or want or whatever, then
Drew Charlie out.
Charlie got kicked out or he left or got disconnected.
Charlie, what happened? Charlie.
Here in Texas, his message about didn't get a chance to write that down. It shouldn't block them so fast next time.
That's fine.
Oh man.
He got out
Oh,
here.
Dry Cuts the text. It wasn't for farm animals. Oh my gosh! You see, you guys are wrong.
Hey, there ain't the slavery. What can I say? Just read it.
All right, so I also went ahead and did the I listened to James a little bit, so we're gonna see how this plays out. So I did re-wax a green frame, right, drone frame, and I moved since I took out the frame feeder that was in the bottom and put a bucket feeder on top, I put in a freshly waxed drone frame in there that I've been putting in colonies for 2 years. They've never touched it, and I waxed it. So we're going to see if they do anything with it this time of year to try to start pulling that out. Hopefully,
and the drone frames are different, right? They have like different size cells on them.
yeah,
right?
bigger cells. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, actually, it's like a honey size cell, right?
Okay.
So
Did you use a wax roller or roll it while in there or dip it or?
yeah, I rolled it on. And then
I don't know. I tried that way back when, and it seemed like for me, it's like trying to get it evenly on there is.
You're never gonna do it.
Yeah, it's not gonna
happen.
Well, then I thought about like Fat B Man. I watched him where he got a tank full of wax.
Dip it
I'm
up.
wondering whether you could wax, dip it the plastic and come back up and do it that way.
I just did it like Cayman does it, right? I ran it down one side and back down the other side, and
Yeah.
let it go.
That's what you get. I mean, roll it. You get splotches.
Yeah, I
sometimes.
get it to where I was filling the darn divots up, and I was like, well, I'm gonna.
Well, the other thing I did is I didn't let my roller really soak in
Mm-hmm.
the wax. I just dipped it and kind of just painted a quick coat on it and done.
I did what Cam did. He rolls one side, rolls one, and then flips it, dips it, roll it.
Yeah, that's
That
what
was
it's. So my nice wax bars are now in a 4-quart crock pot that's just, melted
What's up,
down.
Iowa Lanes Beekeeping? Nice to see you tonight, man. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. All right, so dip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ed dips the whole foundation in it, completely dips it into the wax and pulls it out. So all the holes are covered in his.
Yeah.
And he said they draw it.
Are they filled or they just have
He kind of rolls
coat.
them in. Yeah, he kind of rolls it in the way he dips them. He doesn't like dip them. He kind of rolls them in and kind of gives them a little shake. Yeah.
But does it still have water under the bottom with the wax floating on top? Is that why he's kind of rolling it like that, or?
No, I think it's just all wax. Oh, is it?
He has water in the tank with it.
Okay, cool.
Filling the holes equals less honey. Okay. See, hey, you guys are the experts. I was the
see, I'm learning here, man. I don't even have honey supers on yet. So
I was the hard-headed ass that was, oh no, it's got wax on it. Yep, and I pulled out a lot of frames that didn't have anything drawn out on them. So,
well, my question is there any type of I know that's how they do it in the factories where they spray it on. I mean, what would you have to obviously it's got to have something that's got to be heated.
Heated, yeah.
Well, I think the biggest problem would be keeping that clean, right? The hose, the tubes, and everything when it starts cooling off.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to sit it maybe in hot water, the end of it or something.
And
I just been rolling my stuff, man.
The hotter the wax, the less fill. Okay.
You might not did also.
So I just did about a box and a half, and then a couple of the drone frames, and I did 2 drone frames. I took the first one out and put it in there, and then while I'm shaking bees off, right, I hit it, and it just hit the dog ear on the side of that frame, and it just broke. I was like, really? So I had to go back in and get my backup. Good thing I did 2 of them. And hey, don't drink Jack Daniels like that, man. That's not good for you.
Jack Daniels and grape Kool-Aid, brother.
He's up in some grape. Oh, man.
Yeah, that hotter
wax. Poor boy drink.
With hotter wax, it wouldn't run off better.
Hey, where's Minnesota Mike at?
Oh, I don't know. He usually comes in. Well, I mean, for our stream, this would be late, so he would.
Donde está the Minnesota Mike?
He was on last night on our stream. That stream went long, 3 hours, right? And then afterwards, a lot of times, guys, you guys hop out too soon because we got the VIP chat after we go, after we disconnect. I mean, we're still in the back. So last night, Spanky, James, and Brad there. We're in the back room chatting bees and
I brushed mine
and
on with a
stuff.
cat whisker. This guy. Tex.
Almost finished with 1/4 of a side. That's funny.
Lee, do you got a horn to drink your meat out of? We need to get Lee like a bull horn or something to drink his meat out of. I'm gonna find one here in Texas for you, Lee. I'm gonna find you a big old long horn that you drink your meat out of. It's gonna be like a 5-foot bull horn.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
Downtown Austin, you might be able to find them.
Yeah.
down on
yeah.
down on 6th Street.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
so
All right, man. I think I'm gonna go and tie it up there, guys. It's 9 o'clock here where I'm at, and I know it's getting 10 on the East Coast for some of you guys. I know,
Yep.
Charlie, it's 10 o'clock for you up there where you're at. Man.
Yeah, it's 10.
Yeah, and I think it's 9 o'clock's a good time to cut it off. I got class.
Would you start it only, what, an hour ago?
Yeah. Hour and 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I like to keep the chats hour, 10 minutes. Why? What do you guys? I know you guys like to go like 3 or 4 hours, man.
oh, we can talk now. If we get on a topic, like if somebody asks a question and we start talking about it, then we kind of ramble on about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know, Charlie, you just say in the background.
Uh huh.
yeah, even when the host logs out, we can still hang out in the back room and chat.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like-
right.
The champagne room, ladies and gentlemen, the champagne room.
Charlie goes. I know Charlie's hardcore, man. 6 hours.
Yeah,
I
he
think the
wouldn't go no longer though.
Hey, the way Charlie dances will be like next up on the pole.
I've gone 8
Come on
hours.
now, Charlie.
I did 8 hours one time, and that was brutal.
We
was brutal,
could have
man.
gone 8 hours just fine.
It's hard, dude. It's hard to go like 3-4 hours, man. It really is.
I'll go. I mean, well, Friday, I'm going to do my chat at 8 Eastern Standard, and I'll go to 10 o'clock. I'll do 2
Okay.
hours.
Okay, so you're 8 Eastern, so it'll be 7 Central here. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
and
going to keep it. I keep it in that pattern where it's good for you guys. Well, you're good. You're what, Central Time or
Central's
West?
9 o'clock here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I-
I'm Central. I'm Texas. Yeah.
I didn't think that Central Time went that far out.
Huh?
You know, I mean, I didn't know where the breaks of time is, you know, as far
What time?
as.
It's 10 o'clock there, right? Yeah, you're 10 o'clock East Coast.
Yeah.
You're Pacific,
Well, what
right?
I'm getting at is I travel a little bit now.
Yeah.
If you go past Knoxville, Tennessee, I don't know just how far, like you're going to Nashville, then you'll see a sign there, or at least it was there years ago, where it says you are now entering Central Time.
Okay.
You know,
I know where the cutoff is. It's yeah.
Yeah, map's a little wonky.
I know.
so.
But yeah, man, I'll see you guys next Monday for sure. I'll be here again. Man, we're not going
All
anywhere.
right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
no, we'll do another run next Monday, and we'll talk some more, see what's going on. And yeah, I started school today, and I'm starting health, medical coding and billing, and I've been writing like health crap all day. It's not crap, but it's just I picked a historic topic to write about three historical events in history that happened. One was the plague, one was the importation of quinine from Peru, the bark, which makes quinine, which is malaria medication, and the third one was basically preventive health in the late 18th century. How basically we figured out like, hey, we need to keep clean and we need to take care of ourselves, or we're gonna die at a young age.
And what was I mean, I had a friend of mine. He used to take quinine pills.
It's a tree. It comes from a bark tree in Peru, the chinocha tree or chinchoa tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was imported back in the late 17th century to Europe, and they started processing it, and yeah, they're like, okay, quinine, damn.
I just know quinine is nasty.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. That's what originally is what it was, but they had to find synthetics for it because when they took it back to Europe, the only place they got the bark was from Peru. That tree didn't grow in Europe. So.
No, I mean he's passed away now, but
Yeah.
He had his legs would cramp or something like that,
Mhm.
and they would give him quinine pills, and it would make out all that stuff go away.
Yeah,
Muscle cramp.
Yeah, it's a tree. It's from a bark.
Well, hey, if you're getting ready to cut it, man, I mean, if we got people that want to still stay live, I mean, I've got some more time in me. I'll pop over on my channel and go live.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out early, man. And
one thing while we got everybody here, right now I only got 3 emails for people that are interested in getting in on the co-op buy. So if you're interested, make sure you send me an email. at rwalker2016@gmail.com and put co-op in the info line, right?
Subject.
Well, that's
Yeah,
you
the
guys. I'm
subject
tired.
line.
I take medicine to help me sleep at night because I have insomnia. So yeah, the
It's
medication
called
starting to kick in.
it's
That
called
too.
CBD, ladies and gentlemen. CBD.
Well, that too. I take it's called Prazosin is what it is, and it's actually give it to men with like prostate issues because it has something to do with lowering like adrenaline levels. So I take it at night just before I go to bed, and when it starts kicking in, it's like, yeah. So it
All
really
right.
helps.
You're gonna go on your chat, Bob.
Yeah, I'll pop over there and we'll do the after party, I guess.
Yeah. I'll probably tune in while I'll probably fall asleep watching you guys, So yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Charlie falls asleep while he's in the chat, so don't feel offended.
If I started nodding off on the chat like this, that'd be kind of weird. That'd be totally weird, man.
Charlie,
yes.
Tex asks which popcorn has the most butter.
The one with the CBD butter in it.
Nah,
Yummy.
Jiffy Pop, I guess.
Jiffy Pop.
You need better.
To it.
All right, man. You guys all be good, man. I appreciate everybody. Jeff Thomas, DC, Kodiak, Lee, thank you, man. Jeff Thomas. Who else we got in here tonight? Son of One, thanks for being here tonight. Spanky, Charlie, Bob, all you guys, man. Appreciate you. Ricky, dude, your beehives are the shit, man. You built some of the coolest beehives I've ever seen. Dude, the craftsmanship in your bees, Ricky, and your beehives, man.
Hey Ricky,
Cool.
if you need frames and stuff for your stuff, man, if you want to get in on the buy, let me know.
Yeah, Silver Gorilla, Russell. Who else we got here? Daisy Honey, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you joining the channel. Wildwood and Dry Cut. Even though I can't see your comments, what's up? Who else we got here? Michael.
Yep.
Give everybody shout outs here before I Clueless. Thanks for stopping in, man.
All right,
Appreciate you.
I'm logging out.
All right, see you. Good night, Charlie.
See you later. A little bit
See y'all later. Good night.
All right, got everybody shout out tonight. Good, Michael. Yep. All right, guys. Gentlemen, Spanky. Good night, sir. Appreciate you having me on, brother.